Welcome back to another episode of Sim TV, where I get sincere about my life in its totality. Today, we will be kicking off Vlogmas Day 2 as promised. I am here. I have shown up. But what y'all don't know is that y'all gonna have to come and run some errands with me because mama's got a 5 a.m. flight to catch in the morning, and nothing's done. But today, I believe y'all gonna pull the loctician out of me. I feel something in my spirit that somebody is on the fence about starting their lock journey and they don't quite know where to begin. So buckle up, class is in session. I got these bucket of clothes that Grant grew out of, and I'm hoping that they'll accept it in a trash bag because I didn't have a Target bag big enough to fit all of these clothes in. So Cat and Jack has a program that if you bring all of the clothes back in good condition, you can return it for a gift card or exchange it for a different size. So we're gonna go in here and exchange these clothes. Alright y'all, so I was only able to return up to $100 per day, which is not bad because she took things that weren't really accepted. So I got $115 back on a gift card that I'm going to go ahead and update a few sizes for my son so that he has some clothes to wear for Orlando. So I got my Starbucks drink. We're gonna do a little bit of shopping and then I'm gonna meet y'all back in the car for our starter lock chat. See y'all. So this is why I don't come outside. This is exactly why I don't shop, and more specifically why I don't go to Target. Now y'all just seen I was able to take those clothes back. I got $115 for the items that I was able to return for today. And I went ahead and spent it, but I also spent $150 of my own money. That's how Target gets you. It's like either that or I just don't know how to control myself. They had a lot of cute stuff in the boys section, which is very rare, but a lot of cute holiday sweaters, all the jeans and joggers. I went a little bit overboard, and it probably would have been even worse if I didn't talk myself out of the few holiday sweaters that we didn't quite need right now. But needless to say, he's covered. He don't need nothing more, especially because he wears uniforms every day to school. So this was really just to alternate clothes when we got something to do. And holidays are coming up, so we got events and things to go to that I want him to look nice for. But baby, he's done. He's it for the season. But it really is cool that Cat and Jack have that program because kids like between the ages of 0 to 18 they don't stay in them sizes for too long, and parents honestly spend a lot of money trying to keep up with the growth of their kids, especially mine, because it seems like every day he's growing. But he's good to go. Mama still got to figure out what to do for myself because I haven't updated my wardrobe in a while, which is cool because I don't require much. I'm not a fashionista, but I would like to have a few new items for Orlando, so I'm gonna head on over to Burlington just to see what they have. But while I still have daylight and some good natural lighting, we gonna get into starter locks, y'all. I'm gonna tap into my loctician bag on y'all real quick. So for my clients that are considering starting their lock journey, I always require a consultation. One, so that I know what it is that you want, but even more so you know what it is that you want. My job as a lock educator and a lock specialist is to teach you what I know, and to give you the tools that's going to help you formulate the best decision for your lifestyle. When they say locks, it's not just a hairstyle, it's a lifestyle. They really mean it. Yes, it's on our head and we like to look nice, but it really boils down to how you want to keep up your upkeep. Locks are low maintenance, but it ain't no maintenance. You have to keep them up if you want them looking a certain way. Because in the grand scheme of things, locks, dreadlocks, dreads, whatever you want to call them, all it is just uncombed hair that's tangled together and budded into a more solidified, thicker strand of hair. A lot of people like to make it more complicated than it is, but all it is tangled hair. You know, some people have a spiritual connection to it. Others just don't know what else to do with their hair. Whatever your reason is, you should always consult with a professional, and someone who specifically specializes in lock cultivation, not just retwist, because there is a difference. A lot of people out here know how to do retwist. It's not hard, but what I have learned in my 2 years of being a loctician is that you're gonna need to do more than just a retwist on one person. You're going to need to know what techniques it's going to take to help cultivate a lock, to help repair, so on and so forth. So there's a lot that goes into it. But starting off, there are many ways that you can start your locks. Starter locks is just a method that captures those strands of hair on a foundation that gives it a basis to bud together. Your most common starting lock methods are your comb coils, your 2-strand twist. There are people out there that also start with braids. You can also instant lock, which is a crochet method that instantly locks your hair. For my micro lock girlies, or brothers, those who want them tiny ass locks, you know, you can start with interlocking, which interlocking is a method that takes the ends of your hair and pulls it through your root until it closes that gap to your scalp. And the look of that only really benefits those smaller locks. But either way, it's a lot of different methods that you can use to start your locks. And it really just boils down to your hair texture, how tight your curl is. Because the tighter your curl is on your hair, the better chances you have at your locks locking, your hair locking. Not to say that straighter textures won't lock, it just takes a little bit longer. Which there are other methods like the instant lock or the interlock. For my straight hair people out there that is looking to lock their hair, don't think that you can't. All textures can be locked. You just have to know what method works best for you. For me, I started off with comb coils. To me, that is the least manipulated method that allows your hair to bud seamlessly. It's one strand that allows your hair to intertwine within itself. And as long as you keep up with the monthly maintenance, you know, you have about a 6 month to a year range before your hair is fully locked. And granted, how you start day one, it's not how you'll finish. I tell my clients all the time, how you leave the chair on day one is not how you'll look on month 2, month 3, month 4. Every time, I'm not gonna say every month because sometimes you go a little bit longer than a month. Every time you get your locks maintenance, they're gonna have a different look to them. They're gonna be more budded, more solidified. And just within the process of day to day, you know, the process of locks, you're going to experience frizz, unraveling. All of that plays a part in your hair cocooning itself together. With the 2-strand twist, you have 2 strands that are intertwined together. That buds just the same, but sometimes that line, it takes a little bit of a while to kind of get that line defined out. So you know, it really just boils down to what you want and your preferences. I always have reference pictures for people who are unsure on what size locks they look that they want. Reference pictures are great, just so that I know, or your stylist knows, how to set you up. But how your locks look and how they end up budding together really boils down to your hair texture, your hair density. All of that plays a factor in what they look like ultimately. And then on top of that, how you choose to maintain them on a bi-monthly basis, whether you choose to do a comb coil, interlock, or crochet. All three maintenance techniques are going to have a different look to your lock. So not to say that one's better or the other, but to the trained eye, we will be able to tell, okay, this person gets interlock, this person gets crochet, or this person just has a traditional retwist, which traditional retwist is going to give you your most natural look, because it's the least manipulated. So that's going to give your locks the best chance to look the most natural. But yeah, I offer comb coil, 2 strands, and instant lock. To me, those methods give a range of options depending on your situation, your lifestyle, how busy you are. Do you work out a lot? Are you someone who likes to style your hair often? Because if you want to, wear your locks to get them in different kind of styles, you may want to go for a more smaller, medium to smaller size parting. Not to say that you can't style your hair with thicker locks, but you will be limited, and it won't give that aesthetic that you will see on most Pinterest or Instagram posts. But at the end of the day, locks is still a form of expression. You can style and express yourself in whatever way you see fit. But at the end of the day, your journey is specific to you. It is specific to your DNA. You can look at somebody's locks and say, I want my locks to look like that. But at the end of the day, your hair gonna do what it's gonna do. Even as a loctician, I can't tell you what your locks are gonna look like. My job is just to help them along, to capture any damage that may happen, to keep your scalp clean, because to have healthy hair is to have a clean, healthy scalp to cultivate from. I don't lock your hair unless you want me to manually lock it with a crochet needle. But outside of that, I just help your hair along. So, outside of that, there are many tools and resources that you can go to help you decide what it is you like. And really, it just boils down to how big or small you want them. If you want a micro, your traditional sizing, or if you want wicks, that's something that you kind of have to ask yourself, because all three of those are going to determine how long you're going to stay in a salon. When I got my locks, I knew, as much as I like the look of micro locks, I knew that if need be, I wasn't going to maintain 500 plus locks on my own, and I didn't want to sit in a chair all day getting it maintained every 2 months or so. So that's why I went with the more traditional sizing. And then wicks, I don't want my hair that thick. That is, more of a southern thing that I notice. We do have some people that come in the salon that already have wicks. I'm always curious to know if they are from the South, or if that's just, what they chose to do. But either way, your journey is specific to you and it caters to you. So tap into yourself and ask the questions that are going to give you answers. How long you want to sit in a chair, how often you want to come. If you are someone who has a scalp condition and that needs to wash their hair quite often, you may be more of a candidate for interlocking or instant locking, because those methods will hold your hair in place a little bit longer than a traditional retwist. Traditional retwists have a hold time of about 4 to 6 weeks. crochet about 6 to 8, and then interlock 8 to 12 if you stay on a regular, consistent schedule. But that also just depends on how fast your hair grows and how well you keep up with it at home. Your at-home care is important too. You know, how you maintain it when you are working out, when you go to bed, all of those plays a factor in how quick your hair will frizz. You just also have to keep in mind too, like I tell all of my clients that work out, it's probably best to wrap your hair up, because if you don't want it to frizz, any kind of moisture that's in the air or on your body, that is moisture that's going to get to your hair. And anybody knows who's a natural, you know how black folks get when water touch their hair, like it's gonna swell up. That's actually a part of the locking process. Like water helps your hair to lock. So having a consistent wash routine, you know, your hair starts locking that first wash, because once you get your hair wet, you get your natural curl form. So your curls loosen, and then as it dries, it shrinks up. So when you get washed and things like that, you know, my job as a loctician is to capture your new growth. And then we use different techniques and methods to contain the frizz and compact all of that together. So just knowing that frizz, unraveling, all of that plays a part in how your hair cocoons itself. I think about like a butterfly, you know, when a caterpillar gets its silk together and wraps itself up, that takes time, it takes patience, it goes through a process that eventually turns out to be something beautiful. So I want to debunk the myth that there is an ugly stage in the lock journey, because at the end of the day, your hair is your hair, and only you define what beautiful is to you. And you know, I take very good pride and pleasure in making people feel confident at every stage in a lock journey. You know, you have to redefine what beauty means to you. It's not always a look. It's something that you wear, and it's something that you own, because your beauty and your look is going to change as you get older, as you mature, you get wiser. For me, beauty has always been from within. Always has been from within. And, you know, I help people kind of tap into that. I've never been a superficial girl, never been. And I think more so because I grew up in a family that was like, you know, they old school. You know how old school women are. You know, you gotta look the part, play the part, fake it till you make it. One thing about me, I could never fake it. Sometimes I looked like how I felt, and I was okay with that. Like, I didn't have to put on a show for anyone. I understood that there were certain settings that I needed to be presentable in, but on a day-to-day, you gonna get what you get. And you ain't gonna pitch a fit, because who gonna check me? Who gonna check me? But no, that's one thing I am grateful that my mother instilled in me, to care about what I look like to a certain extent. But that's not how I define my beauty. Like, you gonna feel me before you see me. And in the journey that I've been on my personal hair journey, you know, I've done everything to my hair, to coloring it, straightening it, going no heat. Locks was really just my last resort for me to do something different, because it was either that or shave my hair bald. Like, I really want a buzz cut, but I think I'm gonna wait till later on in life for that. So I'm gonna enjoy my journey while I'm on there. But I hope this video was very helpful to you. If you have any questions, feel free to drop it below in the comment section, and I will be happy to answer whatever questions you have regarding starting your lock journey. It's beautiful if you allow it to be. And like I said, definitely connect with a professional on starting your locks, because everyone out here doesn't really know how to cultivate healthy locks, and how you start is how you gonna finish. So we gonna catch you on the next episode for vlog day number 3. I'm gonna leave Target before I'm tempted to go back in and see if there's anything else I can find for myself. I'm gonna slide on over here to Burlington, see what I can pick up for myself. But if not, I'm gonna work with what I got. Mamas is always the last one to be taken care of. But other than that, I'm gonna holler at y'all at the next video. Peace.